what is the ideal role for the wife or mother in the family? Is this really changing in your culture? If so, how? Do you want me to ask first, or you can discuss the first?
Mm-hmm.
Just take myself for example. Well, I think my mother is very nice for me because she just follow the what we say the rule of mother in our culture. Um, well, she's responsible for all of the housework in my family, and she also care about my study or anything about me. So I think that's the kind of standard for the mother or wife.
It seems you want to speak something. Do you want to express your describe your opinion?
Okay. I think it's really hard to be a good woman in the modern Chinese society. Females are taking part in some jobs to maybe be self-sufficient and no longer rely on their husbands or their parents, and there's also some responsibilities for them to raise their child, to take care for their families, do the all housework after when come back home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to decide what is the ideal life or ideal mother, since I suppose females always have more responsibilities than men.
Yeah, I can't agree you more.
Yeah.
I think I think that we shouldn't push women so much. I think that happy is very the women should be happy if they content with their situation. I think she is they are very ideal role in modern society.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I agree both of you, and I think it's there has been sex discrimination for so long time in history. So nowadays we have the functions, or I mean the idea of wives and mothers is more complicated. Is more complex. So I think what the ideal or what is considered to be a good wife or mother is just simply to be, as Ivy has mentioned before, to be self-sufficient and to be, the kind of words is to be just to work on her own, to live on her own. The independence is very important for female.
Yeah, guys, I think the thumbs up.
All right, thank you. Okay, so some very interesting things said, yeah? All right, I think there was a theme. Do you understand a theme of the discussion? What was it? A theme means basically what was the main point you were discussing. There was a general thing I think most of you were agreeing on, which was what? About women. Yeah. You were all saying something about modern women, right? Basically, which is what? Yeah, so things have changed a lot, right? So the role for females is quite complex now, right? So not only the loving mother and wife, but also independence, maybe even providing as well. So yeah, it's yeah, the modern role of a woman is, what would you say? Yeah, it's complex, right? Okay. So, so we have two more. All right, we have two more. So let's move the thing around. All right. Also, timekeepers. Sorry. At the end, can you say, yeah, if you notice someone didn't contribute as much, or maybe say next time, could you? Yeah. Okay. All right. And afterwards, I'll ask the note takers what kinds of things you noticed. Okay. Okay. All right.
So we are going to talk about how has family life changed from your grandparents' time to your parents' time and yours. So there has been a huge leap for the family life. So what's your opinion, Richard?
It's really a question because in the past our grandparents they may have little entertainments in their childhood, so they may spend most of their time to communicate with their parents. But for us, we may tend to play the games or spend our time on other hobbies. So I think we lack of communication with our parents.
Then, Ivy, what's your opinion on this?
My grandparents, when they were young, it's the standard of living standard is not very high for them. They live in a poor house. They didn't have any medical care, but they got less pressure. They got less stress compared with today's young group. And in my parents' time, I suppose this is a great time for China. They got more and more chances for business, for lending business. In the 1980s, more people, foreigners can to China, and you know the evolution of the society, and nowadays our lives are better, but we really got more and more stress from starting from academic grade, from something like that.
Yeah, speaking of the old times in China, it reminds me of the old time the stories told by my grandparents. And from my understanding, I think the word family in their idea, in their understanding, they won't put it in the first place. They feel like family belongs to a part of the nation, and what they're concerned about is the nation, not their family. But nowadays we turn our sight from the whole nation to our own merits, our own benefits. So I think it's very important because it's good for us to be more concerned about ourselves. Our families. So, what do you want to say about the changing in the family time?
Yeah, I found it interesting. The parents. My grandmother said that when she was a child, they were used to repair something if it was broken. But now we just think, it is broken, then I can replace this. So I think it is one of the reasons that so many parents, the relationship of some parents break up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think time's up.
Okay, so good job. Some nice ideas going on. Obviously, in the older times, maybe we think, oh, would you want to live at that time, right? What do you think? I mean, obviously, I think the big advantage now would be obviously would be development in healthcare, right? For your own life. But what otherwise? What do you think about letting him in? You know, many years ago. Do you think you would be happier or what?
Somehow happy.
Somehow.
But I don't consider this is the real happiness. It's just the self-deceit.
Okay. Self-deceit. So that means lying to yourself. Right? Okay. Interesting. So back then it was deceit, lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is that because the nationalism was stronger? You think people were more pro-China back then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. So let's do one more. All right, and we'll go back to our original roles. All right.
Well, what are the ideal roles for sons and daughters in the family? And is this view changing in your culture? If so, how? Does anyone have any ideas? Lynn, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the most important character that a son should have is he shouldn't trouble his parents since he's an adult. In modern China, some young adults always wanted their parents to buy house for them. And you know, the salary of their parents are not that high yet. But the price of house is certainly increasing. So I think it's another good character that a son should have.
So you mean the offspring should be more independent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think so. And what's your opinion?
Well, in spite of some changes in the idea of offspring, sons and daughters, but I think mostly we didn't change our opinion on sons and daughters because most parents would of course they put a lot of expectations on their child and their children. So I think for most parents what they consider to be a standard a good children is a good child is just to be able to learn things on their own and to be able to live on their own after they are 18 years old. So I think that is what they think is most important.
Well, I suppose that depends on different families. In some families, what is a good son or daughter? That means you need to